Hello, and are you feeling festive yet? Because I am definitely. I love Christmas. I think you can tell. I've had these 3 money boxes a very long time, and I'm going to be telling you a little story about each of them tonight. Well, they're not stories, they're true. Everything I tell you is true, except what isn't, but you know. So, welcome back, by the way, if you've been before, and welcome if you haven't. So, the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is Christmas puddings. And here is, I'll do it that way first so you can see how beautiful the Christmas pudding is. It's even got brandy sauce on it. And what you can see is a beautiful grey cat with a tiny drop of white on his tail and a mouse. You can tell it's a mouse by the tail. And he's got a drop of cream on his back, which I think is really sweet. The cat will lick that off in a minute. And there's the front. This is a perfect example of an old-fashioned Christmas pudding, because you can see all the fruit, all the colours, and there's a beautiful bit of holly there. So I'll show you. There's a hole just there. So I have to be very careful with it. Well, what I wanted to tell you about with these two, apart from the fact, well, this one, but there's 2 cats. There's 1 cat and 1 mouse. I've also got to apologise because I'm a bit warm, but then I'm a bit cold because I've still got the chest infection. So I'm actually doing this in my dressing gown. I haven't long got up. I got up especially to do this tonight so that it would be ready for you in the morning. So anyway, in the poem The Night Before Christmas, if you've ever read it, when my children were young, we used to read it every night on Christmas Eve. And when my grandchild was born, I read it to them too. So in the poem, the first line starts, "'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse." But you see, he was wrong. He couldn't hear the mouse, and he couldn't see the mouse, because the mouse was with the cat eating the Christmas pudding. And if it had been any later, they would both have been asleep in there, because it was very good food. But it's a very big mouse as well, isn't it, interestingly? Have a look at their faces. Look how cute they are. There they are. Come into focus, boys. Just look how naughty they look. Oh, so naughty. There'll be paw prints in the custard. There. So I'll move them back in a little bit. So the second one I want to show you is this. And it says GR and the crown. I think that's George. And there's a 2 there, so it could be George II. But I think it's more likely to be George the 4th or the 3rd. But anyway, it does say George. And on there it says, "Merry Christmas be." And what it's actually saying is, "May your Christmas be merry." And then the A is, "A Happy New Year." There's the presents. And why they're there, I don't know. If somebody tried to get them in the letterbox, they wouldn't go. So maybe they've left them there for the postman. Snow on the roof, snow round the back, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I love it. And what I was going to tell you about this one is that years ago, Santa used to have to travel all of December, go into all of the countries he had friends and relatives in, to send their Christmas cards. But thankfully, we've moved on. So what Santa does now is he sits in his little wooden lodge in Lapland with his little elves. They don't help him with the cards. They're too busy with the toys. So he sits and he writes all his Christmas cards, and then he gets in touch with Royal Mail, and they tell him when he has to post each one into Royal Mail, and they would deliver them all over the world for him. But it does start in about the end of September, because New Zealand, Australia, China, India are all a very long way, so it takes a little while to get the cards there. But that's the story about that. Now here's Santa, And I've got to tell you, he's a very old Santa. Can you see him there? He's gorgeous. Close up. So perfect. And he's covered in soot. Poor little man. And he's got a little bit of holly in his hat. He's got a teddy bear in a stocking. A little bit of his belt showing, his buckle rather. There's his sack of toys. That looks like, I don't know, a box of chocolates. I don't know what that is. That's a little dolly. That's a little drum. That's a ball. That's a Christmas tree. And that's a trumpet. And there's Santa's big boots. There's his big red jacket. There's his belt and there's his slot, sorry. And we bring him round and there he is. Well, I don't know if you know about this, because I was shocked when I heard, and I wasn't absolutely convinced it was true. I was told by Santa himself that years ago, well, no, that's not true. I went to Yorkshire to go to a Christmas market when, years ago, 30 years, 40 years, and there was a Father Christmas there, and he was wearing a long green coat with a black string belt, like a rope belt, and it came right down over his boots, so only his big black toes showed out of with his big black boots. And he had a long black, it was very similar to this, but it was green, and it had a black bell on where the bauble would be, and it fell down his back. So I asked Santa about him, and Santa said yes, he does occasionally wear his green Santa suit, but he only wears it sparingly because he's very old. Because the reason he turned into a red Santa is because Coca-Cola wanted to have a red Santa. So they filled all their posters with pictures of Santa. There weren't any televisions in those days, I don't think. So they just put them on posters, and Santa thought, you might as well go with the times. And he took off his beautiful green coat and put on his red, which he had his wife made, obviously, poor woman. Big job that. So he put the new suit on and away to go. So that's all for tonight. There's a coin for Santa. There's a coin for the cat and the mouse. And there is a very small coin for the coin box. For the post box, rather, sorry. As I say, I'm sorry, I'm still full of cold, but I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you'll come back on Monday for one more. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye now.